Are we on? Are we rolling? Oh.
She cannot beat my outfit.
I don't need a like to get it poppin', but these bitches in my business cut me out to choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent in the bedroom.
Hi guys, it's Naya. Oh my goodness, how many times have I said that on this channel? It's been so long. I like to say I took a Corey Kenshin break on y'all, but I'm back. So I wanted to make this video because there was a lot of people that were asking me about the Cybertruck, that were asking me, oh, where'd you able to drive it? Whose car is that? How does it ride? How's the inside? Is it a good car? It's kind of ugly. Is it worth it? All of that, I've heard it all. When I tell you, I would most certainly rate the Cybertruck, at least the one that I was in, I would rate it a good 9 out of 10, right? Okay, and this is coming from me who really thought it wasn't worth it in the beginning until I really rode one and driven one. But the outside of the Cybertruck is truly, it's very interesting, okay? I actually had a good name for it. I had to remember what I called it. First thing I said was it looks like a Roblox car. The second thing I said was it looks like a something junky. I said it looked like a modern something junky. But it was really, really cool. When I tell you guys the details that they had engraved, the welding, everything about the Cybertruck was very entertaining. Number one. Number two, it was just very interesting to learn about a lot of it. I know the main question you guys have is whose Cybertruck is it? It is Jabez Garden Cybertruck, y'all. Most popular video is the one when we were talking in Chick-fil-A. That video is so old, but I really still recommend it. His life is just, you know what I'm saying? I really recommend that you guys go visit his channel because he is such a monumental person. To have been made by a machine, but it was very cool. I like how they made it like we messed up on purpose. It kind of gave that vibe and it was very bold and unique. And so that's one thing I like about the outside of the Cybertruck, and a lot of the engravements on like the sides or like on the doors, you guys will see. So the inside of the Cybertruck, very large, okay? Very large. Not even to mention, he surprised me. Like, I was at home and, you know, we planned a day together or whatever. And he didn't say anything about it. He was like, close your eyes, come outside, boom, 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 boom. I'm asking him to send that video. And me and my mom were in shock because we didn't expect to see that. And as soon as, like, I was just staring at it like, oh my gosh. It's one of those works of arts that's like, oh my gosh, this is like real, you know, because everybody was talking about it for years, and then here it is, you know, a car that can drive itself. Very big on the inside, spacious. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I love the front. I love the back. It's like, you know, sometimes cars, it's like if you accidentally, you know what I'm saying, hit one of these, you bumping into stuff, you messing around with stuff, and it's one of those cars that, you know, if, as long as you keep it clean and up to date, then it's great. So I know a lot of people are going to ask about the autopilot. This was definitely one of the biggest topics, biggest questions that I had. And I'm not a worker, okay? I haven't done my research that much. I'm going strictly based off my experience and my opinions. I don't want you guys to take this and run with it and be like, oh, this is this. No. Just from my experience with the specific Cybertruck that I was in and the model that I was in, the autopilot was amazing. It truly was. I mean, it was a little bit scary, like, oh my gosh, is it really doing what is this really happening right now? But it really was. The only thing that I will say is there was times where, like, you know, it'd be driving itself, and then we get to the point where we're at our location and we're in the parking lot and it's having to park itself, right? And so I feel like sometimes it kind of got confused on maybe where to park, or like other cars around it could have like confused it, I guess you could say. But like other than that, it aligned everything perfectly. It understood.
I'm a big girl. Okay, I need a big spot. You know what I'm saying? And
try to squeeze in too tight where we couldn't get out the car or anything. It truly was amazing. I would say just that one minor thing that I'm pretty sure they're going to fix down the line. Very, very cool experience. I liked it. The engine. That was the first thing that battery. Is it even an engine at that point? It's a battery. But the battery, it felt like the inside of an iPhone, okay? I don't really know how to explain it, but it was like, and there was times where, like, you know, I don't really know if it was like a feature that he was using or something, but he would go fast. Or he would just like take off, and it's like, it was so smooth. When I tell you guys, the smoothest experience riding in the car ever. Super smooth. Even going fast, it didn't feel like boom, boom. It was just like boom, you know what I'm saying? It was great, and it wasn't loud. It just felt like air. It felt like, it truly did. It felt like air. And it sounded like air. Like, I didn't hear, like, of course, you know, it's a machine, but I didn't really hear anything. It didn't struggle stopping. It didn't struggle taking off. It was just, when I tell you, just felt like an inside of an iPhone. It was super smooth. I really had no issues with that engine part, battery part, whatever. Well, it didn't have an engine, obviously, but I didn't know that they used the battery because, you know, I'm not savvy in that area. When you actually invest your time into researching cars, it gets very fascinating sometimes, especially when you're looking for the right one. The tailgate. So first of all, when I got in, you know, I realized, first of all, the big screen. The screens are super cool. You can play games like in the back, right? And I think you can control like the music from the back to the front. Like, it was a lot going on. It was super updated, like super updated. I would say that the music sounded super smooth. It got loud enough. The only thing I would say is, like, I didn't feel like it was loud enough, even when it was on like the highest volume, I'm pretty sure. I feel like there was moments where I wanted to turn up, you know, I have my moments where I turn up, you know, and it wasn't loud enough, which, you know, some people may take that as like, oh, that's something that really is a problem, and some people would say, oh, that's not a problem at all, you shouldn't be blasting music while you're driving anyway. Completely understand you. But it's just one of those things that, you know, I don't know, the speaker, I don't know, but everything else was super smooth, I would say. The little iPad in the front, that was also very smooth, like in my car. I realized that sometimes because I have a Kia, sometimes, especially when it's like hot outside or something, it would kind of be a little glitchy, or sometimes it just like would stop working. I don't know if you guys like experience it, if you have a 2021 Kia, experiencing like issues with the Bluetooth, or, you know, connecting with the little iPad thing. I don't know what it's called. But that was not an issue with the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck was really down. I mean, it wasn't super hot outside, given the fact that it is, you know, February in Illinois. But it was working very smoothly, no issues. Back to the format of the car, I looked on there, of course, it tells you literally everything about it. You have the tailgate and you have the frunk. That is my favorite word, frunk. Anytime I'm talking about a Cybertruck, I gotta tell y'all about the frunk, okay? The frunk is like the trunk, but in the front. No one's gonna laugh at that, but the frunk was super small. I would say the frunk was super small, given the fact that it is in the front. And then also, like, you know, you're used to seeing like an engine and a bunch of different things in front of a regular car that runs off, like, you know, gas. But I love the fact that it was simple. It was super simple. You open it up, there's nothing in there, there's nothing that's going to confuse you. It's literally just a trunk in the front. I'm gonna make a joke about that this whole video, so you're gonna have to deal with it, okay? It was, I don't know, it's so funny to me, but it was super small. I don't think I have any videos of it. It's not that, you know, special. But really was the tailgate, guys. I've only seen videos about this car, and really truly being there in front of it was kind of crazy, you know, knowing that the future is here. It's kind of like, you know, but it was super big. I mean, if you could think about a car that is meant for a person, you know, who likes small cars like me. I love me a small car. Don't get me wrong, I can drive the big ones, but I love me a small car. And then also the people that like trucks. It was a mixture of that, like the people that are really interested in the cars and the truck. It has that really nice mixed feel, but it's also not super overwhelming. It's super simple, I would say. But it was super big. A little part right here, I don't know what's called it, but like the part that opens, I was scared that I couldn't step on it, but I'm telling you, it was very sturdy. I don't know why I thought it was gonna break by me stepping on it, but it truly did not. Everything about it was super sturdy. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, it's like the iPhone of all of the cars out there right now. Let me close it or something like that, or I should close, you know, playing around. And he ended up closing it, and I didn't feel claustrophobic. It was like, well, that's just me. I don't really have that issue in the first place. But it was still super spacious, and then there was also a window there, which was super unexpected. So, you know, it's high enough. You're not gonna just fall out like a baby that has no limbs. But it was side all the way to the back to the tailgate. It was very spacious. Driving it was a very interesting experience for me, because I'm never driven a car like that before. I'm used to the engine cars, and you know, if you've driven like the older cars versus the newer cars that are all running on engine and gas, you'll realize that it's either two types of them, right? There's either a brake that is super sensitive or a brake that you really gotta slam on to stop. There's really no in between. But driving the Cybertruck, it really was like, you have to be very, it was sensitive. I will say it was super sensitive. You didn't have to do too much. So even if you are like, you know, one of those people that, you know, like to relax while you're driving, I would say it's one of those things that once you get used to it, you can, just because it is very, very flexible when it comes down to, you know, accelerating and, you know, slowing down. But you really have to lightly tap on it, you know. It's one of those things that you have to be gentle, because next thing you know, I put my foot on the pedal, okay? And I was going like, I don't know, like 15 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, without any pressure, any extra pressure, I was going like 36 miles an hour to like 40, and I was like, this is just beyond me. That's literally the words that I said driving it, was, this is beyond me, truly. But I would say it's definitely one of those things that maybe younger people may like. The only thing is, like, I feel like not a lot of older people, because it is one of those things you have to pay attention to and, you know, redevelop an understanding on the car, because it is very different from most modern cars you'd see today. I got many compliments, as anybody would in a very fancy car. About 24/7, there's always going to be someone saying, wow, that's a great one. One that I wasn't really expecting was, oh my gosh, there's black people in the Cybertruck. That was kind of crazy. Thank you to Daniel, because he, you know, was the whole reason why I had that experience this early on, and it was very wonderful. I would say it's definitely subject to a lot of people's opinions on, you know, how they like to drive and what they're comfortable with, but once you warm up to it, it's one of those things that are super fun, super cool. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.